I'm going to show you how you can save yourself some money mixing your own gluten-free flour. In this recipe, I am going to put whole oats in the flour recipe, and people that with celiac would not probably put the oatmeal, ground oatmeal, in the flour mix. I have no problem with it, and a lot of people are intolerant of gluten, but they can handle the oatmeal in it. So this is what will be going into this batch. I will be using the old-fashioned oats, 100% whole grain. And what I do is I put this in a coffee grinder and I make it into flour. Okay, I put about a cup of the old-fashioned oats, and I have the magic bullet, but I will use the grinder part on it. Just grind this up. Here, grinds it up into nice flour, and I will be using that. Okay, what I did is I ground 2 cups of oat flour, and as you can see, I have this very large mixing bowl, and so I put that in there. Okay, here are some of the other flours and grains to add. We will be putting in 2 cups of brown rice flour, 2 cups of sweet white sorghum flour. We will be putting in 2 cups of rice flour. And just a hint, when you're buying white rice flour, make sure that it is really ground fine. And if it isn't, you could put it in your grinder to make the flour fine, because in some of the boxes that you buy where you get the pre-mixed gluten-free flour, you make things with it and it has like a grittiness to it, and it's because of the brown rice and the white rice flours aren't ground fine. So try to get the finely ground white rice flour for sure. And you know, if you can get it cheaper and then put it in your grinder, you know, that's fine too. So also we will put some binders in the flour so it will mimic regular flour. And we will be putting in potato starch, tapioca flour. Now, if you notice in my other recipes, I used potato flour. This is potato starch, so it is different. So now I'm going to be adding my 2 cups of brown rice flour. And you know, you don't have to really be exact, where you have to just measure it straight off, just so that it's 2 cups. Now I'm adding the 2 cups white rice flour, 2 cups of sweet white sorghum flour. Now I'm going to add the tapioca flour, and it is 1.5 cups. So I'm going to add this to the flour. And when you're working with the starches, it's really fine, and so it gets really dusty and you get flour on you, so be prepared. Now add the 2.5 cups of potato starch. Okay, so now we have all our flours in here, and what we'll do is you take like a whisk or a big spoon and just make sure that you mix it really well. Or you could put it in a big container and just shake it. I like this better, it's easier. Then what you can do is put this in a cleaned out ice cream pail, or put it in Ziploc bags or a large container, and you can use this flour for a substitute for anything that you bake: cookies, cakes, muffins, thickeners for gravies, whatever you would like to do. I wanted to show you this product that it's a binder. It's called Anthian gum, and it comes in a small little container like this, and it's pretty expensive, but I've had this for over a year now because you only use like a teaspoon. And generally in the flours that you buy in the store, the pre-made flours, they have this in there. So, but with this flour here, I am not going to be adding this to my flour because you want it to be fresh. So I won't add it to this flour. Otherwise, you would add 4 teaspoons to this amount of flour that you made, and then you would use it. Now, if you would keep your flour in the refrigerator, then you could add this. But if you don't plan on using all this flour up within a month or so, then I would not add this to the flour. Add this when you are making your recipe. So you make a cookie recipe, use the same equivalent of flour to regular flour in your cookie recipe, but you would add 1.5 teaspoons of Anthian gum. That's what keeps it bound together, and it mimics gluten. Just a little bit more on this Anthian gum. You can get this at health food stores. You can get it at Cub or County Market. And I think I paid like $8 for this package of it, but it goes a long way. And some people have bought gar gum instead of Anthian gum. Because gar gum is in every ice cream, generally, unless it's real natural. It can be in yogurts, it can be in a lot of the foods that we eat. A lot of people are allergic or cannot handle gar gum. So I don't use that because I have issues with gar gum. So that's why I use this. And it really doesn't have a flavor at all. It just mimics gluten. Well, I hope this has been helpful to you, and hope this can save you money, and that you will have flour on hand baking gluten-free.